For all future counselors and anybody thinking about receiving counseling, the first step is to sign a confidentiality agreement form. This basically means all information discussed within the counseling session is to remain within that session and not be discussed with an outside source or a third party. This is very important because some people go to counseling and it's their only outlet. It's the only place they feel comfortable with discussing certain information. They might have cheated on a spouse, or they might come to tell you that they're the worst person in the world, but you're to remain judgment-free and keep all that information within a counseling session, because this could be the tilting point in someone's life and they need to feel comfortable to come there and receive help. Now, there are certain limits to confidentiality. Number one, if the person is thinking about killing themselves or someone else, suicide and murder, you are to tell legal law enforcement. Next, abuse, child abuse, geriatric abuse, you have to tell that to law enforcement. The courts can subpoena certain information if the person is suspected of money laundering, drug trafficking, or some other crime. Your legal documents could be subpoenaed and asked to be turned into the courts. The last situation, if it pertains to billing, maybe the billing requirements, a diagnosis or something, or if the person is going to get future help from another psychologist or medical support, you might be required to disclose information. So there are certain limits to confidentiality, but you need to know the limits and not just break Hipaa violations, because then you're being unethical. You might not be illegal, but you might be doing the wrong thing, and that's unethical. Now, Hipaa stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Education has a similar term called FERPA, which is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. All this is to cover all families and people coming to seek mental assistance to keep all their information private. If you intentionally violate a confidentiality agreement, you can end up losing your counseling license or be subject to some type of punishment from the board of counselors. Another thing is we need to keep in mind that confidentiality isn't limited to the information discussed in a counseling session. It also means their birthday, their emails, phone numbers, social security numbers. You're not to divulge any information about the client without written express consent stating that it's okay to release this information. So be knowledgeable, hone your craft, and peace.